Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to my channel. This is another process video for Scrap Madness, a video a day. And there is my cut file that I am going to use for this particular layout. So, welcome to my last two layouts that I needed to do for the 30th and the 31st of March on April 2nd. Isn't this lovely? I ended up getting into a little bit of a busy spell right after I got back from my trip, and let me tell you, I did not get everything done like I wanted to, and I am so sorry, but never ado, never fear. I am doing my two last layouts for March Madness or Scrap Madness. So Laura and Iris Fox already did their layouts. Their links will be down below so that you could go check out those layouts that they did for that day. They did it on time. Me, on the other hand, let's not do it on time. So I got out my carousel collection and I did the butterfly. So that marble paper that the carousel collection had, this is what I did with it. I decided instead of backing each individual pieces this time, which I've done before and I absolutely love the way it looks like, but this marble paper had the best way of looking at what I wanted to achieve with the flower or with the butterfly, so that's what I did. And then the body of it, I did a gold piece out of the 6x8 paper pad and do it that way. And I am letting you know, so if you get a paper like this that's got, like for example, this one's got a carousel and it's like blurred out on the bottom, so the few people that I've showed this layout to, they're like, oh, what collection is that? I really like that bottom paper. It looks like flowers mirrored in the background. And I said, well, it's the carousel collection. It's the one where you see the carousel, but because I hid the carousel part of this particular layout or this particular paper, it achieved what I wanted it to achieve. I wanted people to think that it was flowers. So that's another way for you to be able to mask layouts if you're wanting to use a particular paper but not quite sure how to do it. So this is how I was able to use this one. It's just like that marble paper that I used the other time on one of my other layouts for the month of March, where I was able to use that marble where it was hard to use. And that's how I was able to get it achieved and used up, and nobody even knew that it was a carousel. Because by the time that I cover everything up, you can't even tell that it's an actual carousel without me physically stating it. So as you can see, I'm backing up this particular cut file and making sure that everything looks good. And I leave this part in so that I could be able to chat with you. You guys all know how to back a cut file and you guys all know how to put foam on. But I wanted to make sure that you guys go and check out Iris and Laura's channel. This was during my live. So I did have a video up on the day of on the 30th. However, that was, let me tell you, YouTube was being funny that day. I've never had where I couldn't do a live on YouTube before. It was insane. I would get to about 8 minutes and it would cut me off. So I had to move to Facebook. So if you were catching this video after that, obviously you are. But if you're new to my channel, I have in the link in the description of that particular video where I did my Facebook Live so that you can be able to go catch it. And here I am, I'm doing splatters with my gesso because I ran out of white paint and I haven't been to like Hobby Lobby or to Michael's or whatever to get regular white acrylic paint yet. So if you need to use white paint, gesso actually works for splatters. It doesn't dull the page or any of that sort. It still makes it look white. It looks like what I wanted it to on the layout, and it's easy peasy, right? And so I had to leave to go do something, and then I came back, and now I'm at night to do this. So here I am, I'm using a bunch of thread, and I guess apparently I learned something new. So when I was doing the live for the World of Heart or Art that is on my channel for the 30th of March, I did not realize that in the world of like doing the crafting stuff of like the really funky, awesome layouts and pieces of art that a lot of these ladies do, they call thread fibers. I was like, why is people asking me about fibers? I'm like, I don't do fibers. And then I realized thread is fiber. So I didn't know that. So if you knew that, awesome. If you didn't, well, I just taught you something new, I guess. But I'm laying down a bunch of different thread pieces underneath all of my stuff because I wanted to add a little bit of something. And this photo is while I'm at a waterfall in Austria. It's called a waterfall. If you didn't know, it is as I'm traveling to Lake Bled. We were able to stop and check out this waterfall, and this was one of the photographs that I wanted to scrapbook in my album for this trip because I'm holding the flower straight and you can see my hand right there at the bottom of it, and I wanted this butterfly to act like it was landing on the flower or trying to, you know, grab the pollen and do everything. So it achieved it pretty well. I did do a bunch of fussy cutting right here where I cut out all of this fussy cuts and of these flowers out of the 12 by 12 layout, or paper I should say, for the carousel collection, and I place a bunch of the colored ones you will see me get out to place on the bottom. I do back them up with foam as well because my paper for my layout, my photograph has about 6 or so layers on top of it. So as you can tell, see how this paper, even though you guys know that it's a carousel on the back of it, but if you would just look at it in my album, you would not know that I used a carousel layout paper, 12 by 12 paper for this. I did cut off onto the side to draw your attention to the side of it a little bit, and off camera I do some stitching, some sewing machine stitching, and you will see that in the still shots that will be coming up after this video. Awesome, on the 31st of March, I hit 1,400 subscribers. So I gained 200 subscribers in the month of March. That is insanity. Not only did I do a video a day, well, essentially I did a video a day. I did catch up and I am still doing them. You will see the next video for the 31st with my design, with my guest designer coming up here soon. I gotta film it. You will see something that I've never done before on my channel, and I'm working on it as we speak. And I did add a bow to where my flowers was at. So in my hand I wanted to look like I kind of bunched them up because the flower or the butterfly is landing on it. I just like adding that bow to it. I think it adds just a little bit of something to it. And I absolutely, positively love the way this looks. So now I'm just embellishing. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I add a bunch of stuff to it. I add a bunch of flowers underneath. And let's see here, I add some green leaves. I wanted the butterfly and the flowers to stand out. I wanted the photograph too, but the main event for this particular layout of what I wanted it to achieve like was the flower of that butterfly landing on the flowers. That's why I added so many flowers around this photograph, along with adding bits to the butterfly. That is why this butterfly is massive on this. And yes, I did keep the photograph big. I did keep it as a 4x6 so that you could be able to see what I'm trying to achieve. And in the still shots, and also in, like, if you physically looked at the layout, you can totally see how I achieved that. Sorry for the sneezes and the sniffles. I don't mean to do that on camera. I am in dead heap of pollen season for the state of Georgia, and my allergy meds just cannot keep up. I feel horrible. You can't tell it in my voice, but I do definitely feel horrible. I've got ears are plugged, nose is plugged. My eyes are running like I'm crying all the time. Trying to teach, take a test, and do all of this. It has been fun for the last month. I'm hoping that I do get some rain here in April so that this washes this pollen off these trees and whatnot. Yesterday was, I think, out of every day was probably the worst due to the fact that it blew, the wind just blew everywhere, and then it was cold. So not only we dipped low. For us, it was chilly for the end of March here. It was like only 51 degrees, but it felt like 40 because of the wind. So here I am, I'm just finishing up. That is pretty much what it looks like. Now I am adding at the bottom, I put right by where the butterfly or the bow is on the butterfly, I put chasing. And here I come in with these. In the still shots, you'll be able to see the word. I put chasing butterflies because I thought it achieved it. I put butterflies in the clusters of flowers as well to achieve like that triangle effect of multiple butterflies on my layout. I do also get out the gold shimmers which is Sunset Vibes. I do add more white to this layout, which is my gesso. And then that's pretty much it. So make sure that you go check out Iris's and Laura's for that. Everything will be linked down below. Again, I am sorry that I did not have these layouts up on the days that it should have been. And that is about it. And so I will leave you with the still shots, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.